discussion topics selected by you. A whole new conversation. Welcome to 360 Speedway.
Hello out there, come on in from that relentless heat, sit yourself down with a cool drink. Derek Smith here, welcoming you back to Speedway 360 Speedway HQ. Do hope you enjoyed last week's offering. As ever, we appreciate every thumbs up, every comment. Thank you, one and all. Another new week, a whole new conversation, another fresh-faced lineup to tackle this week's discussion topics here on 360 Speedway. But what a lineup! First up, let me introduce them right now, one by one. So first up, I'm going to say A up to the man who provides all the Yorkshire grit, Nigel Crabtree. Good evening, Nigel.
Evening, Derek. You all right?
Good. So I can't believe another week's passed already, Nigel.
Soon goes by, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Next up, welcome back. A sidekick of Nigel's, and I don't mean Eric Monaghan, it is the original Big Mac, Stewart McDonald. Welcome back, Stewart.
Hi Derek, how are you? Okay?
Not bad, thank you for joining again, Stewart. And finally completing this week's potent heat leader trio, the man who us Scots simply can't pronounce properly, the rinky-dink panther himself, Carol Johnson.
Evening, Derek.
Carol, someone was telling me that us Scottish people can't differentiate Carol as in C-A-R-L from Carol, C-A-R-O-L, and it's perfectly true. We can't do it.
Yeah, Jimmy Mack was terrible for it.
So 360 Speeders, this week's handlebar heroes, thank you one and all. Usual disclaimer, any views, opinions, controversial comments mentioned by any of the four of us are those of ours alone and in no way associated with any of the Speedway clubs or associations that we may have. Right, let's crack on then with another brand new episode. Last week, as mentioned, we introduced a new feature where we introduced a current rider. Dan Thompson was the first and bravest man to step into the 360 Speedway studio. That received some good response out there in social media land. So we thought we would repeat the dose today. And we have another current rider, sadly currently sidelined through injury at the moment. Let's welcome, without further delay, the uber likeable, the uber popular, it's Leon Flint, everyone. Hello, Leon.
Hello, how's it going?
Not bad. Leon, what's happened to the weather in your part of the world?
Well, it was absolutely bouncing down before, and then the sun's come out of it now, so not too bad.
Tell you what, Leon, listen, fresh air is very underrated in my opinion, Leon. Listen, Leon, I meant to mention in the introduction that you're able to join us tonight, sadly, because you should actually be in action, of course, this week. I suspect you might be pretty bored with life currently, and that's to our advantage because we've managed to grab some time with you to talk. But tell us, Leon, just how bored are you already?
Oh, I mean, before today, I can't really lie. I've been struggling, to be honest. Everything that I do, past the time when I'm not riding, I can't do. I can't play golf. Well, thinking about it, all I really do is play golf when I'm not riding, so I'm a bit goosed with that. But no, it's just been pretty tough, to be fair. With something as unique as what I've done with my shoulder, I think I might have been better just, breaking it and then knowing what to do. But, I had the crash in Germany, went to the hospital in Lanshut, told us that I had basically torn 2 ligaments from my collarbone. But I was trying to get back to the UK as quick as possible to get an MRI scan to find out what the actual damage is and where the damage is. But yeah, got all that sorted, and luckily enough today I've been away to the Glasgow Warriors, seen one of the main physios there, and had a good chat and come up with a bit of a plan to get me back out there.
Very good. And Leon, I've got to comment, if you don't mind, trust you to suffer the fanciest named injury that I've ever heard, a type 2 Rockwood, no less. So just to explain that, I know you've mentioned ligaments. Have the ligaments separated in some sense, Leon, or what is the nature of a type 2 Rockwood? Well,
we later found out it was a type 3 one, so it was a bit worse than we thought. But basically, it's just a separation of the ligaments to my collarbone and my AC joint. That's as much as you're probably going to get out of us, because that's as much as I know.
Okay.
I mean, when the woman gave us a consultation, she obviously described everything, but that was all doctor talk. She didn't exactly put it in English for us, but it's the first day after it, I couldn't even lift my arm parallel, where now I can get it moving, I can get going, but yeah, moving pretty fast with everything, healing up pretty quick, and I'm doing everything I can to get back riding.
And what can you do, Leon? I mean, it's obviously not just a waiting game, so you're able to do some sort of physio or some sort of positive treatment strategy, right?
Yeah, so like I said, today I went and seen one of the main physios at the Warriors, and just gave us a few exercises to do twice a day. Plenty icing. And I've also been doing this oxygen chamber.
Okay.
But as far for, as doing all that, there's nothing really much else I think I can be doing. I want to be doing more, but at the same time, it needs that time to try and heal as well. So yeah, it's just a bit of a pain in the arse, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I totally get the frustration, Leon. Nigel, Stuart, Carol, that sort of injury as Leon's described it, is that something that you've ever experienced or know someone who's had something similar to that?
I've never done anything like that. I've broke my collarbone, but I've never done anything like Leon's explaining. So I can only imagine, like he says, if it had been broken, they could have fixed it. It's just a matter of time, isn't it? And everything healing up and taking your time. The trouble is, you'll end up coming back too soon if you're not careful, don't you? And then it happens again, and then you're out again. So I think you've got to just give it time, have you, and let it get right, and come back fighting fit and ready to go for the rest of the season, Leon, hopefully, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I was having this conversation with LUKE Beckер today, actually. Like, we was trying to decide at what time do you class yourself as fit? Are you classing yourself as fit to go and race, or are you trying to class yourself fit so if you have a crash, you're fit enough? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
At the same point, it's gonna hurt, but no one goes out there with the intention of crashing, do they? So
it must be so frustrating for you, Leon. It must be so frustrating for you, Leon, because obviously, like you say, you play golf and that's probably your only side thing to do, isn't it? So you'll be sitting at home twiddling your thumbs. I mean, do you have any idea at all maybe time span? Is it weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks? Is it just a waiting game?
I think it'll be the next couple of weeks, I reckon. I think the way it's kind of healing up, and every day it's just like little things, like to start with, when I got in the shower, I couldn't even get to that armpit, so I had to buy a little granny sponge to get my armpit cleaned. But now I can do all that, and just like little things. Just like little things every day, I notice that I'm getting better with, even just like putting my socks on and stuff like that. But I reckon the next couple of weeks will be sweet.
Good, Pavel. The quicker you get back, the better. I think Glasgow are missing you.
Absolutely. I mean, that's super encouraging news, Leon, because you're a busy lad. We're bang in the middle of the season. I don't need to point that out to you. And the other thing, which I'm sure is adding to the frustration, is in the last few weeks in particular, your form, your scoring, your riding generally seems to have really improved. You've been scoring really well for Sheffield in the Premiership. I noticed you banged in a big score for Lanshut in that meeting that you got injured, and Glasgow too. So it's obviously come. There's never a good time for an injury. We said that out loud to Dan Thompson last week, but bang in the middle of the season, it's got to be probably the worst time, Leon, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I was in the ambulance after I binned it in heat 15, I was in the ambulance thinking, oh, this could have been a lot worse if I only scored 2 points.
Only you could think that way, Leon. Only you could think that way. And listen, if you don't mind me asking, you mentioned Luke Beckner, and I know you're good mates with Luke. Is he in good spirits?
Yeah, he's good. He's been every day for 5 days a week, 5 hours doing physio and rehab and all that kind of stuff. So he's been working real hard. I mean, he's in a lot worse kind of situation than I am, and it's pretty tough to see. But he's battling on, and I think he's hoping to try and get back before the end of the season as well. But there seems to be a lot of lads getting injured, especially this year. But again, I think it's just part and parcel of it, isn't it? But
yeah. Well, I guess it goes with the territory, Leon. But yeah, I'm going to ask Leon. We sometimes forget. I've mentioned this to you before, but I'm going to do it again. We sometimes forget that you're still a young lad, right? You're one of these guys who.
Don't look at mine, do I? I've had a shave now. I've had a bit of time off.
But you're one of these guys who seems to be around forever, right? We all knew you as a little kid, and you've been around the scene for a decade plus, probably. But my question to you, Liam, was going to be, you are developing, you are progressing. I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, your scoring has been, and your racing has been super impressive this season, latterly anyway. And you're in good. You keep good company. In that Sheffield side, even at Glasgow, you've got Kyle and Bomber, who I dare say you can turn to, etc. Are you still aware of benefiting from some of those more experienced riders that you surround yourself with?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Like Speedway is like a little bit like golf. You can't master it. You can get good at it, but you'll never master it. So just always, picking up little pieces, from everyone, makes a big difference. And just being in a winning team environment as well, it really helps. It makes you want to go that extra yard for your team and for yourself.
Let me stop. Nigel, Carol, Stuart, any questions you want to put to Leon?
Yeah, Leon, you could probably teach Chris a few things in the pits rather than the other way round, I think, can't you?
I'm not too sure.
And he's not the most mechanically minded of speedway riders.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone does say to me, "Oh, you must learn so much off Bomber," and I'm like, yeah. But like with setups and stuff like that, Bomber's on like 3 or 4 teeth more than me. I mean, he's still a lot faster than me, but Bomber, he's just good to have around the pits. He's always positive. You never really see him moaning or out like that, and it's hard. When there's been a few times this year when, say, the track at Glasgow has been a bit difficult, and he's like, "Oh yeah, just go around it." I'm like, "Yeah, but Bomber, you're a foot off the fence." I was like, I don't have same size clemmies as you, son.
Yeah. You've got some. You pay some attention to your fragility, Leon. Yeah, I would be doing that as well. Listen, here's a big question for you, Leon. I hope you don't mind me asking it, but a couple of seasons ago, you made a very big and brave and bold decision to help develop yourself and I guess, accelerate your career, and that was to step away from Berwick, the Berwick scene, which you'd been part of for a long time, and by design you chose to step away. Glasgow benefited from that, and some other teams in the Premiership have benefited from that. Do you feel a couple of seasons on that Leon Flint has benefited from the bravery of that decision?
Most definitely. It just needed another new challenge. I was just kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, literally, it was probably, well, it wasn't probably, it was the biggest decision, not of my career, of my life, because I'm so tied in with the club, and they're all basically family there, so it was really difficult. But at the same time, I just needed a change. I felt like my progression wasn't going at the same kind of level as it had been. It kind of went a bit stale, and Glasgow was a track that I never really ever got on with, and I thought it would be a good test. I mean, that's why I went back to Wolves every time, because every year that that come to the end of the season deciding if I wanted to go back, every time I said yes, because I felt like I had unfinished business there. I didn't ever feel like I'd cracked it. I'm not saying I felt like I cracked it, but the last two ever meetings there I felt like I finally got somewhere. But yeah, it's definitely helped, and I think Sheffield as well. It's been massive for me. That's allowed me to go and do the stuff and ride the way I know I can. Yeah.
And listen, Leon, all things being equal, hopefully in the not too distant future you're able to get back on the bike again, back into action. But all things being equal, both Tigers, Glasgow and Sheffield, ought to be featuring in the thick end of the end of season, chasing down league trophies and things, and that's got to be something exciting and something to encourage you to get back to full fitness and be part of.
Most definitely. I mean, still yet to win any kind of title or silverware with any of my teams yet, so it's obviously something that I really want to do. But yeah, I mean, I think the both teams that I'm in, Glasgow and Sheffield, there's no reason why we can't do the business at that time of year.
Good lad. Listen, Leon, I don't want to be reading in Speedway Star that Leon Flint has caught a dose of pneumonia because he's been talking to 360 Speedway. So I'll let you get back indoors, back into the warmth, and thank you very much for taking time out to talk to us. And we'll hope to see you back on a bike in the not too distant future, Leon. All the best.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Cheers, fella. See you later, boys. Thank you.
Bye.